All right, guys, this is going to be a good one. We're going to be talking about Tico time. Do you know what Tico time is? That's where the people in Costa Rica don't show up on time. It's a thing. It might be sound like I'm attacking the culture a little bit, but we're going to be talking to our good friend Pablo. And if you can't talk to your good friend about these kind of spicy subjects, then you aren't friends.
Yeah.
You aren't friends. And we're going to get to it in a minute. It's going to be spicy. You might want to grab a beverage. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
All right, guys, in a second. I'm Michael Allen for TravelCostaRicaNow.com. TravelCostaRicaNow.com is a travel agency, but you already know that. I'd appreciate if you subscribe. It really helps. If you want to see videos as we put them up, hit the notification bell. And what really helps now, what really the YouTube algorithm is, comments. Comments, thumbs up, thumbs down. I hate your shirt. I love Pablo, what he said. Anything. It's all good. That's what gives a video legs. And if you want to help us, comment. I'd be much appreciated. Guys, we're down in Estoril Este, in between Manuel Antonio and Jaco. We're at the Relocation Retreat. I speak, Pablo speaks, our friends speak, and they're all honest and transparent. We have another Relocation Retreat coming up, and if Costa Rica is on your radar, you're not quite sure, Relocation Retreat might just be for you. We don't blow any smoke. It's the good, the bad, the ugly. At the end of the retreat, you will absolutely know if Costa Rica is right for you or not. Or you might be like, honey, forget Costa Rica. Let's go to Belize.
That's a good one. Yeah.
All right. we almost try to talk you out of it. But anyway, if you want that information, actually, if you want to ask me questions personally, info@travelcostaricanow.com. But there will also be a link down in the description to the Relocation Retreat website. All right, Pablo. You guys know Pablo. Now we're not talking about what he does. What he does when he's working.
Yeah.
You know. Well, yeah. You know. He's the guy that brings all your household goods, your cars, your motorcycles down to Costa Rica when you decide to live here. And when you decide not to live here, he can ship them back to wherever you're from as well. But you know, he's got like a Venn diagram. He's got 3 businesses. Now, he's got other heads. He doesn't do them all. That would be a little too many eggs in baskets.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's got other people. But he does his import-export container job. He also does a way cool thing. I wish it was around when I was first here. You want your residency, but you don't really want to go home to get all your paperwork, your birth certificate, and all that crap. They can get it for you. So that's pretty cool. And the other thing they do, if you want to get your iPhone or your computer from Amazon or eBay, he can get it down here for you without you going to San Jose for 3 hours and paying all this stuff. He has a service, so it's a service. But anyway, if you're interested in any of those 3 things, get a hold of me. I'll get you a hold of him ASAP. But we're not talking about that shit today. We're talking about Tico time. Matter of fact, I've been sitting here for 10 minutes. He was late to this.
No way.
Okay, I threw you under the bus.
No.
No, he wasn't late. Matter of fact, actually, you're never really late. And if you are, you always say something. But, okay, guys, I am a gringo. I've lived here 18 years. What they call Tico time is basically, kind of in a nutshell, Ticos tend to show up whenever they feel like showing up, or they don't show up at all, or whatever. I, being a gringo, a traditional gringo, I still, to this day, have issues with it. I've lost friends from it. When I've almost like begged them, I was like, please, if you're gonna be late, just tell me. Tell me you're gonna be late. That's fine. I don't care, but tell me. And they just don't. I don't know why. And then the other thing is, I don't understand, which we're going to be discussing with Pablo, is I don't understand when they make the time, when they come to me and say 7 o'clock and they don't show up. I didn't make the meeting. They made it. They gave me the time. I cleared my schedule and they don't show up. It's like, what? You said the time. All right. So why is your country all Tico timed, Pablo?
Okay.
Kind of explain it from
I mean, there are many things about it. I would say the more and I had good and bad experiences with Ticos. This is my personal experiences. A lot of people tend to agree and say yes to everything, and this is kind of like a Costa Rican thing. So if you end up dating a Costa Rican, They're gonna go say yes to everything you ask. Hey, honey, can we go to? Yes, we can. So this yes get people in problems. They get they get your appointment. Yes, they get somebody else's appointment. They want to throw that in. Yes, and
is it because they don't want to disappoint?
Is
it like it's like I'll deal with it when the time comes and maybe something will happen?
It's just plain. It's just plain. I'm sorry. It's just plain stupidity. It's just plain. Just people is not paying attention. They're just saying yes to everything, and they just get. They don't do anything right. That's one of those things. They don't appreciate the value of time and do not respect the value of time of other people. But I think part of the culture is Costa Ricans in general, and not just Costa Rica, Latin America in general. We don't like to say no, and oftentimes we get in issues, we get in troubles, and so we don't manage time.
Yeah, but it's kind of done like it's no big deal though. So when I call my friend and go, dude, you said 7 o'clock, man. I mean, and you didn't even tell me that you weren't coming or you're going to be late.
Yeah.
And they almost kind of do that. Well, por la vida. It's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
I changed my schedule.
Like the rhythm, the rhythm down here is different.
So
too.
I don't get that now. I do realize coming from a very hamster wheel United States, we're doing this, but I was kind of taught a respect for your time too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to make you wait when you maybe have a business meeting with me. I don't want you sitting there for 15 minutes waiting for me. So is there any difference between like the San Jose, the big city life of San Jose, as opposed to maybe like a smaller town?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're more professional.
I mean, this is a good example. I was hearing this documentary about Hong Kong, and if you want to have coffee with your friend, you schedule that 3 weeks ahead of time. Otherwise, you won't have time. So the rhythm of that city is like super fast, and people just are
scheduled.
Yeah, they have to schedule it 3 weeks before. If you want to get a coffee with my friend or go on a date with a girlfriend,
everything is scheduled and tight.
3 weeks ahead of time. If you are in Esterillos Oeste, Pura Vida, Costa Rica,
is it like the total opposite?
It's just super relaxed, spontaneous. It's a lot more spontaneous, super relaxed. If you go to San Jose, you're gonna get the both. You're gonna get, and if you're talking to somebody that is busier, an attorney or doctors, everything is more like on the schedule.
More Western kind of thinking. I don't know. Were you always on time? Did you have to learn it? Because I had to learn it. You do with a lot of gringos.
Yeah.
And I know you probably know if you're showing up late, we're probably going, I don't know, should I have Pablo? He can't even show up on time.
I had to learn it. This is something that I learned. Like if you go to my family, they were always late. It's just a normal thing, and they run small little businesses. For my dad's side or my mom, so we all have little businesses, and I had to learn it. I moved to the States. I was a salesman back in the States, selling new cars, and I had to learn to be on time and be on top of my game. And this is just the culture. And here it's not such a big deal, so do not get offended, but prepare for it. I would just say, if you're gonna get something out of this conversation, not much you can do. I mean, that's going to be the reality. You can select your service provider or whoever you're doing business or are having friends. But the best thing you can also do if you're going to adjust to this culture is bring your book. I
don't know. It just seems like some things are a little bit more important than others. Like if I invited you to a party and I said it started at 7 o'clock tonight and you showed up at 9, I got no problem with that. But when you're starting to talk about, I'm building my house, I got these guys coming in at this time, and I got my workers coming to coincide with this, and then all of a sudden people aren't showing up. I'm losing money. I'm frustrated. I'm stressed, and it's like, okay, is this what's happening? Is this what I gotta do? So I don't know.
Sometimes it's just really hard to find somebody that works on the same time as you. And I run a business, right? So, but I rely on a lot of my business is just like the trucking companies, the customs agents, the terminals. So what I have to do oftentimes, I explain to my customers, this could happen. And I always say something like, the delivery is going to be from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. So I give a big time frame. Even though, you know, how the culture is set up in the US, what's expected, I have to do it this way because I have to rely on many different providers that I have to, you know, that I have to manage. And oftentimes it's not my truck. I'm not driving myself. It's a subcontract. And this happens very often. So we have to manage that, and we have to manage the expectation. But most people don't even think about managing the expectation. They just, we just get there when we get there.
See, the thing I have, the reason I've lost friends, I'm going to sound like a sad gringo, like I'm, you know, butthurt from this, but you know, when like, if you're married and your wife comes to you and says, Pablo, this thing you do, whatever it is, I don't mean like you squeeze the toothpaste wrong, but I'm saying something that bothers her that you do. And she goes, Pablo, you know, it really bothers me. I mean, if you're doing it kind of right, you're going, okay, she's bringing that to me. She's really serious about it. I'm going to try to change that because I know it bothers her. I've had friends because I've said, dude, it bothers me. It's a thing for me. You know, you don't have to be Mr., you know, super right at 7 thing or whatever, but it's almost, I've asked you 2 or 3 times. It's important to me. And it's like, but not this. I mean, and it's like, I don't know how to deal with that. I understand it seems like it's too easy just to go, it's cultural.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait, sometimes cultures aren't, I don't know. I just have it's a thing with me, and I've never really gotten over it. I mean, you know, I obviously still live here, so it's not like a deal breaker, but I just don't, some of it I get, and then some of it I don't when it's something a little bit more serious, I guess. I don't really get it.
I mean, I understand. I would say is the cultural thing. It's something that you're gonna face sooner or later.
Oh,
we're gonna be here. There are some industries that are gonna be way better, and some people that is gonna be way better, especially they are highly educated and they care about respect people's time. Oftentimes, when you go into a small town and you need something done, you know, painting your garage or things like that. The level of education and respect and how they understand and perceive life, it's a lot more relaxed. They don't really, you know, just get there, and the money is not even an incentive neither.
It's not an incentive, and I don't think we as gringos, we don't often understand that, because we're like, dude, I'll give you, you know, money, $70 if you get this done by Friday. And they might say yes, but they don't care about it. They're not They're not motivated by the money.
No, and relationships, that's another topic, but Latin America, relationships are more important than money. Like who you know and who you build connections will save you thousands of dollars. It's just the way it is. And a lot of people say, oh no, I give you an extra $100, and that's it may trigger something, but the results are really done when you have a connection. You build a friendship with the local.
Right, that's true. You know, it's funny because I used to sweat sometimes where, let's say you invited me to the party, right? You're like, hey, I'm having a shindig. It's at 9 o'clock. And like at 8 o'clock, I'm like dead tired. And I just don't. So it works in reverse. If I don't show up to your party, you don't really give me shit because that's the culture. Yeah. You know what I mean? So sometimes it works in my favor. I don't have to come up. See, because as gringos, we're like, we get stressed. I was supposed to go to Pablo's party. He's going to be mad at me. No. I said I was going to go and I didn't show up. What am I going to say? I got to make up an excuse. I got to freaking lie to him and say my wife got sick. But you guys are as understanding. I mean, I used to sweat like telling you that I didn't go to your party. I'm so, you know, making shit up when you don't really care. You know what I mean? In a way?
Yeah, I understand. In most cases, it's going to be super relaxed unless it's a little bit more like a formal activity, maybe a baby shower or a wedding where we have
I'm the groom or something.
No, there's activities where we normally, you know, throw a party and we buy food and, you know, those, like, you want to let people know, like, because each seat costs, you know, money.
So would a good kind of, you know, a barometer, maybe just the more professional the thing is, the more likely
to get better.
It's gonna be probably on time or whatever, and then the more low key where you live. I think the thing you said about painting the garage is a really good example, because even painting the garage, okay, tomorrow, next Monday, so what? There's.
But what about? Let's say we're talking about a plumbing issue. Something break and there is water all over the place.
Yeah.
You need something fixed right away. That could be a big issue. I get there in an hour, and it's like, you're not here in an hour, and they need this thing fixed. Otherwise, I don't have water, or there is a leak on the roof. You need it because it's a rainy season, and so. But I would say, education is a big thing. Of course, if you're talking to labor that do your landscaping, which is not much education for that, they will follow into small little things like this. And if you think about it, why, if there is a landscaping company that is always on time and and make things right, and that could be a great business, but at the same time, everything relies, you're gonna have to subcontract employees, and those employees,
right.
And there is, it's complex.
So I'm assuming there's no easy answer for this. You're gonna run into it. You can bitch and complain if you want. It's probably not going to do you any good.
No.
And I guess you would have to make the judgment if you're, I don't know, maybe it's your lawyer, maybe it is, again, your contractor. You have to make a decision if you can put up with that or not, or you're going to try to change something, I guess. But you are going to run into it on all kinds of levels.
Yeah.
And hopefully the further you get up in professionalism and education, excuse me, the better it
the better it gets. Yeah. Is the same thing. Let's say you hire somebody local to, do something for you, build you a garage. You find somebody that is really local, that it doesn't have that much infrastructure, is not as professional. That's gonna cost you whatever amount. But then let's say you want somebody that is super professional, that is bilingual, that maybe he's not local from your town. That project is going to cost you 5 times more. He's got an infrastructure, he's got trucks, he's got all of these different things.
Good point.
So, it's, maybe saving money you go with the local. Of course, the results may not be, as sharp as this other more infrastructure engineering company.
That's another video as well, Pablo. Well, you're kind of telling me what I've learned over the 18 years. It's not worth losing friends for me to get that pissy about that. You are going to run into it. You can't do anything about it. And if you don't like it, if you're like me and you just that's almost a deal breaker, then you're not going to be living here. You're not going to be living here.
The people that I noticed that make it abroad, or make it in Costa Rica or abroad per se, they adjust to the culture.
Yeah.
The culture is not
it's your country.
We're not going to adjust to you. That's what's going to happen.
No,
You're going to have to find ways to couple with these things, adjust, figure out who's your best players and service providers, and do business with those. But do not stress or kill yourself out of this.
It's just not a thing.
Bring a book. Be ready. I'm always with my laptop and in my things
to do something else.
Yeah, I'm always.
I guess it's a small piece of the Pura Vida puzzle. It's just that it's that mañana kind of attitude. It's that kind of chill a little bit. It'll it's going to happen. Calm down, and you just have to decide what's important.
And if let me know if this is true. One of the main reasons North Americans, Canadians come to Costa Rica is to relax and to, have a different lifestyle, to escape from the rat race, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like when I ask to my customers, why brings you here? This is one of the main things. And, if you're, escaping out of the rat race and escaping out of all of this structured lifestyle, this is one of those things that you're gonna have to face.
Yeah. So if you're gonna, if that's what you're doing, then you got to take. You can't just pick and choose the things you're going to accept and the things you're not going to accept. You bring it. Costa Rica is a whole package of good and things maybe that annoy you, and so you.
It's funny. I hear this other study about this. The people who is always late or tend to be late live more years.
Yes,
the lifespan is. And Costa Rica has got one of those blue zones
I know
in
they
Guanacaste.
do, right? They do.
Like we have one of those places out of the like 5 spots in the world where people live over 100 years.
Yeah, it's
So,
down in the Nicoya Peninsula, actually. Yeah.
So
All right,
yeah.
I feel like I've learned something today. I need to learn to calm down, Pablo, because you know what? When I was waiting for you for this interview, I was just
Oh my
freaking
God.
fire was coming out my
No,
ears, dude. Anyway, Pablo, thanks a lot. Remember, if you need to ship stuff around, or you need your birth certificate, or you need something from Amazon, he might be your guy. I'm Michael Allen, travelcostaricanow.com. Things are going to pop up if you're thinking about living or traveling anywhere. To always do your homework and research, and if it's Costa Rica, I'm going to put my videos up against anybody's. Ciao.